Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. First, breaking news headlines. Aerus Cessna Grand Caravan makes forced landing near Monterrey. In other news, Dash 8 runway excursion at Wilson Airport ends in gear collapse. NTSB NetJets Citation Latitude ran out of fuel before Texas highway landing. NTSB NetJets Citation Latitude crash shows right engine damage. Capt. Sully Sullenberger discloses early-stage Alzheimer's diagnosis. Now for the details. Monterrey, Mexico, July 14, 2026. 3 people were injured Monday when an Aerus Cessna 208 billion Grand Caravan EX, registration XARFD, performed a forced landing approximately 2.5 nautical miles north of Monterrey General Mariano Escobedo International Airport, MTY. No fatalities were reported. The aircraft was operating as Flight ZV-165 from Piedras Negras to Monterrey when it encountered technical difficulties during the approach phase of flight, according to data from the Aviation Safety Network, ASN, and reports from Aviation Online. Local reports indicate the aircraft came down in the municipality of Pesquería, Nuevo León, near the Miguel Alemán Highway corridor. Emergency services, including civil protection and local police, were deployed to the scene. Aerus confirmed that both crew members and the single passenger aboard received medical attention and are reported to be in good condition. The aircraft sustained substantial damage. Mexican civil aviation authorities, typically the Accident Investigation Directorate, DAAI, are expected to lead the investigation into the cause of the incident. Aerus described the event as a precautionary landing, necessitated by an incident upon arrival. Aerus is a regional carrier based in Monterrey, operating an all-Grand Caravan fleet, with approximately 400 weekly flights across Mexico. The Cessna 208 billion Grand Caravan EX is a widely utilized single-engine turboprop commonly employed on short-haul regional routes. This is a developing story. ANN will update as more information becomes available. Source: Aviation Safety Network, ASN Wikibase. A de Havilland Dash 8-100 suffered a runway excursion and landing gear collapse at Nairobi's Wilson Airport on July 14, 2026. The aircraft, registration 5YBXI, was operated by ALS Limited on behalf of SafariLink Aviation on a commercial flight from Kisumu International Airport to Nairobi. All 39 occupants, 34 passengers, and 5 crew members were evacuated safely without serious injury. According to a preliminary report from Kenya's Air Accident Investigation Department, AAID, the aircraft veered off runway 32 during landing, causing the gear to collapse and the fuselage to come to rest on the ground. The Kenya Airports Authority confirmed that recovery efforts were initiated and airport operations remained largely unaffected. Investigators are examining aircraft performance data, landing parameters, and runway conditions. The AAID is also considering whether a hard landing contributed to the loss of directional control. The incident has triggered immediate political scrutiny of Wilson Airport's aging infrastructure. Senator Godfrey Osatsi, who was aboard the flight, has called for a Senate probe into safety standards at the facility, citing concerns over deteriorating conditions. The excursion follows a pattern of recent events at the airport, including a cargo aircraft runway excursion in May 2026 and a fatal mid-air collision involving a de Havilland Dash 8-100 in March 2024. Full details on Nairobi Wilson Airport, HKNW, are available in AviatorDB's airport profile. A NetJets-operated Cessna Citation Latitude suffered a dual-engine flameout on approach to Laredo International Airport after exhausting its usable fuel supply, forcing the crew to make an intentional emergency landing on a Texas highway that killed 1 person, according to a preliminary report released July 10th by the National Transportation Safety Board. The aircraft, registration N523QS, was diverting to Laredo from Los Cabos, Mexico, on the evening of June 16, 2026, when crews first noticed unusual vibrations and anomalies with the right-side starter generator. Those issues cascaded into right-side fuel and electrical warnings, including low fuel level indications. During final approach, low fuel pressure triggered a dual-engine flameout, leaving the crew with insufficient altitude and glide distance to reach the runway. The pilot set the jet down on Loop 20, Bob Bullock Loop, where it struck at least one passenger vehicle. Of the 6 occupants on board, 1 passenger was killed, the captain was seriously injured, and 4 others sustained minor injuries. Investigators recovered a bent shaft in the right starter generator, which is undergoing laboratory analysis. The NTSB cautioned that the preliminary report does not establish probable cause and that early speculation attributing the accident solely to crew fuel mismanagement may not reflect the full picture. A final report is expected within approximately 1 year, pending review of the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder. NetJets said it has cooperated with NTSB notification requirements but declined to speculate on the cause of the accident. Laredo, Texas, the National Transportation Safety Board has released a preliminary report on the June 16, 2026, crash of a NetJets-operated Cessna 680A Citation Latitude, identifying significant right engine damage, but stopping short of explaining why both engines lost power on final approach. The business jet, registration N523QS, suffered a dual-engine flameout while descending toward Laredo International Airport, LRD, and came down on Loop 20, striking a vehicle on the highway. Investigators found the right engine's fuel pressure switch had separated from its fuel tube, which was fractured adjacent to a weld joint. Multiple metal clamps securing the tube were also fractured. Separately, the right engine starter generator sustained severe damage, including a bent shaft, a fractured cooling fan, and several missing screws from the outer casing. The NTSB has not yet established whether those failures caused or resulted from the loss of power, and the agency has not explained why the left engine also lost thrust. The crash killed 1 passenger, Capital Factory founder and CEO Joshua Baer. The captain sustained serious injuries. The first officer and 3 other passengers received minor injuries. 1 person on the ground was slightly injured in the vehicle strike. Investigators are conducting laboratory analysis of the damaged components and reviewing cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder data to reconstruct the sequence of events. NetJets said it is cooperating fully with the investigation and will not speculate on causation pending the final report, which is expected within 12 to 24 months. Capt. Sully Sullenberger, the retired airline pilot, celebrated as the hero of the Hudson, has publicly disclosed that he was diagnosed with early-stage Alzheimer's disease. In a statement first reported in July 2026, the 75-year-old described himself as being in the beginning of this long journey. Sullenberger shared the news via his official website, saying he hopes his openness will raise awareness about the neurodegenerative condition. According to reports from USA Today and Reuters, Sullenberger received the diagnosis in August 2025 and is currently receiving treatment. Flying Magazine reported that he sought care at UCSF Medical Center after experiencing early symptoms, including memory lapses. NBC News noted that Sullenberger is determined to use his diagnosis to help others facing similar health challenges. Sullenberger earned worldwide recognition on January 15, 2009, when he successfully ditched U.S. Airways Flight 1549, an Airbus A320, into the Hudson River after a bird strike disabled both engines shortly after takeoff from New York's LaGuardia Airport. All 155 people on board survived. After retiring from commercial aviation, Sullenberger served as a U.S. ambassador at large and remained a prominent voice on aviation safety, testifying before Congress on multiple occasions. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at AviatorDB.com.